I've used Monzo for over 6 years now, but I'd never really considered it as an investing platform. More of a current account with handy features to help me save some money. But now they're pushing their investment offering to customers, I wanted to see what they have to offer.
It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months.
To do this, I had to get stuck in and try out as much as I could, and honestly, I was pretty surprised by what I found. Remember though that these are just my opinions, we don't offer financial advice, and your capital is always at risk when investing. One of the reasons I'd never really considered investing through Monzo is because it's not exactly clear that they offer it in the first place. It was only in September of 2023 that Monzo introduced the ability to invest through their platform, and even now, it only has a small section on the homepage which is quite easy to miss if you're not looking for it. Though, with new government changes asking banks to promote investing more, I have started to notice Monzo sending small encouragements to say, come on, invest a little bit with us. A lot of people, myself included, save money using Monzo's built-in tools, like their roundups or their instant access saving pots, and the way you access their other savings and investment products is through the same section. Once you click through to it, you'll see 3 sections at the top: savings, investments, and pension. At the time of recording, Monzo offer an instant access savings account and cash ISA, which you can access through the savings tab, a general investing account and stocks and shares ISA, which are under investments, and a SIPP or self-invested personal pension under pension. There's honestly loads of stuff to know about each of these different offerings, so I've broken each one down separately and timestamped them below. I'll start with the investments tab, which gives you some information about investing with Monzo, along with a breakdown of the 14 funds that they currently offer. I do like how beginner friendly it all is, as they've cut out a lot of the investing jargon that might have put people off learning about it before, and made things as straightforward as they could possibly be. And I think a great example of this is how they call the S&P 500 fund just American companies, so you know exactly what you're looking at from the start. All of the funds on offer are from BlackRock's iShares range. Monzo have a partnership with BlackRock, and if you click into them, you can see the exact fund that you're investing into here. When you click the Start Investing button at the bottom, you can then choose between a general investing account and a stocks and shares ISA by clicking here. And seeing as these will both function in the exact same way, I'll only show you the stocks and shares ISA from this point on. You'll then have to either confirm that the information you've given Monzo in the past is correct, so things like your name, address, and occupation, or fill this in if you're a new Monzo customer. This isn't the only information that you'll require though. You'll also need your national insurance number before you invest any money, but for now, you'll be taken to a list of funds that you can choose from. Now, there's no way around it, there isn't a lot for you to sink your teeth into, but if you're someone that likes to pick and choose from hundreds or thousands of investments, you're not really the target audience here. This is designed for people who aren't comfortable with investing at all. In fact, Monzo have 3 additional ready-made portfolios for complete beginners that you can select from if you're new to investing and would rather have some help when it comes to choosing your investments. And within these ready-made portfolios, you have 3 different options to choose from: careful, balanced, and adventurous, with the key difference between the 3 being how much risk is involved in each. And they will all charge you 0.14% a year in fund management fees, which is pretty low. This is the fee that BlackRock are taking rather than Monzo, but other fees will apply from Monzo themselves. At the time of recording, Monzo have a 0.45% account fee on their stocks and shares ISA and general investing account, which is accrued daily and paid monthly. But you can reduce this fee down to 0.35% if you're a Perks or Max customer, which both require you to pay a monthly fee anyway, so unless you're blown away by the other perks they offer, it's not gonna do much. The careful option will invest 80% of your money into bonds and 20% into shares. The balanced option is then split to be 34% bonds and 66% shares. And finally, adventurous is close to 100% shares. And with each of the options, you can see what the average return has been in recent years, but just know that past performance is never a reliable indicator of future results, and these figures are just there for reference. If you'd rather select your own fund or funds to invest into, you have the option of thematic funds or geographical ones, and even though there aren't a lot to choose from, you still have some popular choices like an S&P 500 fund, FTSE 100, tech focused, and so on. If you click into each of them, you can get a breakdown of its performance, a list of the top 10 holdings, and some additional info like a risk level rating, key information document, and the management fee, which you'll pay on top of Monzo's account fee if you invest into the fund. When it comes to actually investing into a fund, you have two options. You can make a one-off investment, which is as easy as entering the amount you'd like to buy and clicking invest, or you can set up recurring investments, and this is where Monzo actually impressed me. Not only is it really easy to set up a regular investment of whatever amount of money you'd like, you can also choose to invest your roundups from purchases and your interest on cash sitting in your savings accounts, meaning you have multiple ways to invest your money without you having to lift a finger. This is something that not many brokers are doing, or even able to do because they're not banks or don't provide cards, and I think it adds a lot to their offerings. It helps people put a little bit away more often without you really even noticing. Once you've invested into a fund, you can manage it from the Investments tab here, where you can see a brief overview of your investment's performance, and you can make any changes you'd like to it, as well as adding more funds or transferring in another ISA. While this all may seem very basic, it's clearly supposed to be exactly that. And I actually think it does a good job of providing a bare bones way to invest without overwhelming people. With that being said, would I switch from my current broker to invest with Monzo? No. But what about their other account types? Seeing as we're talking about investing with Monzo, I won't really cover their cash ISA or savings account in much detail, but in short, their rates are fine, but other platforms offer better rates at the time of recording, and if you want to compare all kinds of investing and savings accounts, we have a comparison tool that is completely free to use, and it compares all kinds of accounts, so I'll link that down below. Back to the investing side of things, Monzo currently offer a self-invested personal pension which is provided by FNZ Securities, and they will run your pension for you. Your money will be invested into one of their selected BlackRock target date funds, depending on your date of birth, so you don't get to choose your own investments. However, these funds will start to invest less into shares and more into bonds as you get closer to retirement age, with the idea being that you reduce the amount of risk to try and minimize the chance of a market crash eating away at your investment. You can also consolidate all of your existing pensions into Monzo as well, so they're all in one place and easier to manage, and they allow for you to either take 25% out as a tax-free lump sum and buy an annuity with the rest, or you can take your entire pension out in one go, but only 25% will be tax-free. The rest will be taxed. You'll also pay the same 0.45% account fee as with the investing accounts, which can also be reduced with premium accounts. The fund you invest into will charge 0.18% per year as well, plus additional fees to cover things like transaction costs when the fund rebalances. This all sounds pretty good, until you realise a few things. Firstly, you can't actually contribute to your pension with new money at the time of recording. You can only add to your Monzo pension by transferring money in from an existing pension, although they are working on adding this in the future, as you'd expect. They also don't support drawdown, meaning you can't take 25% of your pension out and keep the rest invested, and you can't take multiple lump sums out either. You either take the entire sum out and pay tax on 75% of it, or take 25% out and use the rest to buy an annuity. This leaves a lot to be desired with Monzo's SIPP. And even on their own website, they warn you that they have limited funds to choose from and only 2 ways to take your pension out. When you look at some of the other offerings out there on the market when it comes to pension products, this account is far from the finished article. So until they make all the necessary additions it needs, I can't say I'll be considering it myself. But hey, if you only use Monzo and want to keep everything under one roof, it could be for you. If you're interested in learning more about investing so you can feel more confident when it comes to choosing a platform and even your own investments, we have a course called Index Funds for Beginners, which is completely free to take, so I'll leave a link to it in the description below. For what it's supposed to be, an easy to understand introduction to investing and saving your money, Monzo does a lot well. They've managed to simplify investing a lot, and they have some great features like their savings pots, roundups, and investing your interest. But to be honest, I think Monzo's investment offering is far from competing with other investing platforms on the market. First of all, their uncapped 0.45% account fee is pretty steep, even if you do reduce it down to 0.35%, and you're just not getting a lot for what you're paying for. It's not the most expensive, but it's certainly up there based on how we calculate fees at Financial Interest. Monzo actually ranks near the bottom of our leaderboard for all brackets of small, medium, and large investors. And while they have a good selection of funds on offer, there are barely any of them. It's about as bare bones as it gets. Then, in terms of their SIPP, well, the less said about that the better. Let's just hope they add a lot more to it in the near future. If you're completely new to investing and already using Monzo, these accounts could be a good way to start working on your financial health and future goals. But whether you want cheaper investment fees or better interest rates in your savings accounts, there are much better options at the time of recording.